Hello, I'm looking at an empty tripod. Hello, Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas. Today's date, it is it's April 15th of 2020. It's about 4 p.m. in the afternoon. Update. My grandson, who worked during last year and the year before and filed income tax, but he is unemployed now, not because of the virus, but because Sears Corporation went out of business and closed down the store or stores. So, but he did get his stimulus package. And what else? Let's see. Well, I told you in the video before that a friend of mine, him and his wife, they're in Kansas City. They got their stimulus package. Don't know of anybody else. Haven't checked with the rest of the family or whatever. Wanted to mention I'll link to this guy here, Meet Kevin. He reports that two members of Congress with 17 other members of two members of the House with 17 other members of the House have introduced what could become stimulus package number 4. And now it's just a bill that's been introduced to the House of Representatives. It'll have to be discussed, studied, worked on, and then if it passes the House, then the United States Senate would have to, look at it, work on it, pass it. If there was any differences, they would have to work those differences out, and then it would have to go to the president to be signed. So this is just, but what it's calling for is $2,000. Well, it's not calling for, this is strictly a stimulus package of money for people in the United States. If you are over 16 years of age, you get it. And it would go $2,000 a month. I believe he said for a year, but there's a clause in there, I believe, and all this would have to be worked out. There's a clause in that after 6 months, the situation would be reviewed by, I guess, a committee or something or other of the House or the Senate, or I guess both, and to see if it was to continue and stuff like that. So not going to talk a bunch about it. You can watch this guy's video. He talks a little bit about it, and then there's another video that is along the same lines, and I will put the link to that underneath. I recommend both of these guys' videos to you. And I don't know about this. I don't know about Meet Kevin. But the other guy, right now he's doing a video a day. I really recommend this one here, and this is Clear Value Tax. And I know this guy's an accountant and a CPA, certified professional accountant or whatever. Really recommend. I'll put the link to both of those. And I believe it's in that this guy is talking about here, that they put in, if this thing is passed, a bunch of things to correct problems that were with the other bill or the other law that passed. And in the other Can't remember which one of these two talked about it. And the other bill that we're now getting the results of, I haven't got mine yet. I want my mule and 40 acres. In that, if you had a mother, an elderly mother, and you were taking care of her, or she was in a nursing home, or I don't know what all. Anyway, but you claimed her on your income tax form as a dependent, she is not going to get the $1,200. And what I didn't think of until this guy mentioned this in this thing, where he was talking, if you have a child in college, going to college, and you claim them as a dependent, they're not going to get this $1,200. So in this other bill, if it passes, those things are fixed and taken care of. So your mother or father or whoever you are claiming as a dependent or whatever, they would get the $2,000 a month. If you have a child that's in college, they would get the $2,000 a month. So anyway, I'm going to end this now and just link to these two below that you can watch. I'd be interested in your comments, especially this gentleman's comments or thing here, because he did a 35,000. He did a survey of 35,000 people, people I guess that are like his channel and his financial information, that kind of stuff. And he asked, you can watch the video yourself, I'll probably get it wrong, but he asked what do you like? And so in the Republican plan that's proposed, now that they're working on now, the Republican plan where it's helping small businesses, I think, too, but helping business, only 6% of these people said that's the one to go with. And then the other plan that the Democrats have been talking about, I forget exactly what that was, but 20% of the people said, yeah, that's the plan to go with. And then 60% of the people in this 35,000 group said what we need is another stimulus plan. So anyway, this is really in the future, but I did want to bring it up because it's, I think, interesting. And let's see, I'm looking at the comments underneath here. Mr. Clear Value, Tax is my favorite K-pop idol. Another person says, if this $2,000 a month is going to be crazy, anyway, I mean, definitely, if, let's say, this stimulus package 4, both sides are going to, work on it a hack away. I think one thing, too, that was said was that the Democrats are in favor of this Heroes Fund, where up to $25,000 or whatever, you're helping doctors, nurses, and I find that difficult. I worked hospital security for 30 years, worked with doctors and nurses and respiratory therapy and all these people. And I mean, they were all great people. And like, especially like the emergency room nurses and the doctors. But I mean, they were like heroes. I mean, they're heroes all the time, even when there's not this type of thing. But I don't know, I mean, definitely I'd be in favor of Congress passing a law saying that, of course, nurses probably make starting $25 an hour, and they have all kinds of other, but yeah, so doing something in another arena, I think would be, be better, but I don't know. I'm on Social Security, and I haven't, well, I started to say I hadn't worked in, but I have. I sort of think that, like I say, I retired in January 1st of 2000, but I didn't. I mean, I quit the company hospital that I've been working for. I'd worked for them 18 years. But then I did the 2000 census, and then I went to Orlando, Florida, and then I worked in charge of security for a contract guard agency at a hospital, and that was bad, because that wasn't working in-house security. That was being a contract guard at a hospital who didn't even want us in the hospital. It was like, you stay in the parking. Well, there was only one of us on a shift. And so, but then anyway, then I worked in Orlando, security for a contract agency at hotels and motels and places like that. Different ones. I went to wherever they needed me. And then I came to Texas, and I worked, that was after 9/11, and I worked security at control tower, FAA control tower at Love Field, and then went over to Addison Field and worked control tower security there. Then I went to Miami for 5 years, and I worked down there, malls security for about a year, and then I worked CompUSA, and then that was basically it. That's when my prostate and bladder got so bad that I couldn't work. When I pissed the floor at CompUSA, then I went over and told them I was quitting. So anyway, want to give this information to you. Don't get all excited about it. I mean, think about it, and if you can contact, if you like what you like of this, contact your, a member of Congress and say, yes, hey, for this stimulus package 4, here's what I'd like to see. And for this gentleman here, he wants you to, I think, contact him. I'm not sure if you do it in the comment section or if there's, let's see. Anyway, read what he has underneath here. Anyway, contact him, and him and his people. If you contact him with some ideas saying, here's what I want, him and his people will look into it and then go to bat and try to set up something or whatever. So anyway, I'm still waiting on and I guess I'm on Social Security, so I'm guessing that next week I'll get my stimulus money. And so for those of you who got your money, I hope it helps out. And for those of you who haven't, got it yet, just hang in there. It's going to come. By the way, I mentioned that in the previous video. President Trump it has the Treasury Department where the checks that are coming going to be issued. It's going to have Donald Trump's name on it. President Trump, Donald Trump's name on the checks. That's unheard of. And the president doesn't have the authority to sign the checks. Of course, he's not signing them. They're signed by the Secretary of the Treasury or whatever, but that's going to delay the checks, they're saying, a little bit. Probably not a lot, but it is going to delay those checks a little bit. And yeah, those people that are going to be getting those checks where it's going to be, President Trump, wants his name on there, so it helps him with the election, helps him with his ratings and all that kind of stuff. And I think everybody, even if his name were not on it, and even if there wasn't a small delay because of that, I think everybody who's going to get a check, I think they're going to be kind of pissed because it's not coming like right away. Of course, that's probably their fault for not, doing what's necessary to have a direct deposit and all of that kind of stuff. But I don't think that President Trump's name being on the check is going to help him. I mean, you would think that it would, but I don't think that it will, because I think everybody's going to be pissed because of the delay. And so anyway, just my 2 cents on the subject. Thank you very much for watching. You might give me a thumbs up. Might use my links below if you can, especially if you're purchasing something from Amazon. Please try to use my link. Just go there. When you go there, you don't have to, the page you land on, you don't have to buy any of those items. But once you're there, anything you purchase, I will get a small commission for. This month I'm going to get $15 from Amazon. Last month I got about $15 from Amazon. That's not much money, is it? But that's more than I got from YouTube. So thank you very much for watching.